Doesn't everyone love Laurel and Hardy? They might not have been the creative geniuses of other silent comedy greats such as Chaplin, Keaton, or Harold Lloyd, but they were so very likeable. They were brought together by producer Hal Roach in 1926, and the teaming was a masterstroke. Stan Laurel was a veteran of the English music hall. He had worked in the same company as Chaplin, and he was a master of physical comedy, while Oliver Hardy, known all his life as Babe, was a courtly, portly gentleman from the deep south who was born in Harlem, Georgia. They seemed genuinely fond of one another, and audiences grew to love Ollie's exasperated looks into the eye of the camera and Stan's tearful temper tantrums. John S. Baird's wonderfully affectionate Stan and Ollie stars John C. Reilly as Ollie and Steve Coogan as Stan. Both are absolutely magnificent. They not only look the real deal, but they sound right too. And when they emulate the original comedy routines, they achieve the same sort of effortless grace of the real Laurel and Hardy. The film begins in 1937 on the set of Way Out West, their last really successful film. Baird gets just about all the details right. The interference of studio boss Hal Roach, Danny Huston, the subservient direction of James Horn, Joseph Balderrama, and the contribution of the pair's long-standing Scottish foil James Finlayson, Keith McPherson. Against back projection, the pair performed the unforgettable dance routine that became one of their most beloved sequences. And when we see the same sequence later on with the real Laurel and Hardy, we appreciate just how brilliantly Reilly and Coogan paid tribute to their comedy forebears. The bulk of the film unfolds in England in 1953, when the pair were no longer top stars. Their final performances took place on a tour of lesser English music halls, organised by theatrical entrepreneur Bernard Delfont, Rufus Jones. Audiences are sparse, perhaps because everyone's going to see Abbott and Costello Go to Mars, which is playing in cinemas. And Babe is clearly unwell. The pair are hoping to make another film based on Robin Hood, but it becomes clear this isn't going to happen. Perhaps because I have a very soft spot for Laurel and Hardy, I went to see Stan and Ollie with trepidation, especially since Scottish director Baird's previous film was the aptly titled Filth, made in 2013. But I needn't have worried. I laughed and I cried and I had a thoroughly good time. I'm giving Stan and Ollie 4.5 stars. I loved it.